Hello, everybody. Welcome to today's conversation at the Street University. And oh wow, this is one that if you know anybody that you like, honestly, you should get all of them here today because we're going to be talking about something very important, and we call it pandemic streams. Pandemic streams. All right. Before I go on to explain in detail what that is, I need you to just now quickly begin to share, begin to get people on board, invite them. We're going to be talking about creating new streams of income during the pandemic. It's going to be a whole series, but we'll start with the first episode today. And we're going to look at people who, at the time the pandemic broke out, they didn't have anything. And today, they have something that's generating good income for them. So that is something you want to be part of. So please come on, let's share. Let's share this wide and let's invite people to be here to come and learn, Because one of the things that I've learned is that if you stay in your closed up cocoon and you don't know what's going on, you might think nothing is happening. If all you have to hear is the doom and gloom around you or on the news, you might think nothing is happening. But nothing could be further, you know, from the truth because a lot is happening. A lot is happening. Hello, Isabella. You're very, very welcome. Hello, Carlene. Yes, good morning to you, Carlene. Hello, Dorcas. Very welcome. Isabella, you're welcome. Who else is here? This is going to be an amazing one, I tell you, because we are looking at pandemic streams. Pandemic streams. And, I am doing a lot of research, before things like this. I remember I was speaking to an innovation team of a particular bank a few weeks ago. And, in the course of our conversation, these are some of the things that came out, about innovation during times like this. So please share, and then I will share a few thoughts as we now go fully into this great session today, where we are going to learn. It's so important that we hear what is happening around. It is so important. I'm reading a book right now. It's called New Power. New Power. And it says why outsiders are winning, institutions are failing, and how the rest of us can keep up in the age of mass participation. It's a phenomenal book, and it's just showing the power that the individual has available to them today. Unfortunately, a lot of people don't even know. People don't know what is available. And like I have always said, if you don't know what's possible, you just settle for what's available around you. So much is happening. People are exploding on all fronts, doing new things. Innovations are exploding. Hi, Miriam. Hi, Job. You're welcome. Osome Francis Bokuku, you're very, very welcome. Irene, you're very welcome. You're very, very welcome. I am so happy you're all here today because this is one that, you guys have become my family. This is one session I need my family to be part of. I need you to hear because, again, the people that we have today, I was an eyewitness, or rather, I'm an eyewitness to their growth. I'm an eyewitness to what they did. Now, just by way of laying the foundation, as we kick off. You know, in 1918, the world was faced with a pandemic. It was known as the Spanish flu. It went on till 1920. By the time it was over, 500 million people were infected globally and 50 million were dead. Now, what came after the pandemic is known as the Roaring Twenties. That's what came after the pandemic, the Roaring Twenties. Why? Because it was an era, and you can imagine people who have been contained during the pandemic, when it's over, there were parties here and there. You know, people generally let loose. All right? Now, but there's something else that happened during this pandemic crisis of 1918 to 1920. And never forget, crisis always gives innovation color. Crisis always gives innovation color. What came after the pandemic of 1920, the Roaring Twenties, and some of the innovations of that era. Anytime you sit in a car and you have a headrest, that's one of the innovations of that era. Whenever the light turns red or green, traffic lights, that's an innovation of that era. Convertibles, that's an innovation of that era. Water skiing is an innovation of that era. The bulldozer is an innovation of the 20s. The instant camera is an innovation of the 20s. Now, guess what? Cheeseburger is an innovation of the 20s. Penicillin is an innovation of the 20s. The world's first rocket, liquid fueled rocket is an innovation of the 20s. Quick frozen food is an innovation of the 20s. Band-Aid or plaster, like we call it here, is an innovation of the 20s. The electric blender is an innovation of the 20s. Water skiing is an innovation of the 20s. The television is an innovation of the 20s. And the vacuum cleaner is an innovation of the 20s. Like I said, crisis gives innovation color. And history is about to repeat itself again. And only those who are ready will profit. A crisis is too good an opportunity to waste. In a post-COVID world, innovation is going to surge again. Because, you know, history always repeats itself. In fact, the Bible says there is nothing new under the sun. One translation says God seeks that which is past and does it again so that history repeats itself. So there is going to be another surge of innovation. Are you ready to take advantage of this? What are you doing? What are you innovating internally that can prepare you for what is coming? And this is not a prophecy that's just blind. I'm giving you facts from history. After a major crisis, there is always a major innovation and development leap. And whoever is positioned will be the biggest beneficiary. And so innovators must be researchers. Innovators must be researchers. All of you must become researchers. You must become researchers because things are going to happen. They are already happening. You don't want to be left behind. You don't want people to begin to have great stories of how their life changed during the pandemic. You don't want that. So that's why we started this series, Pandemic Streams. So we are going to dig out, and if you know stories of people who have come up with stuff during the pandemic, please share with us. Look, this time last year, there was nothing called the Street University. Nothing. Right now, we have been able, right? You have people from the US, we have people from all over, and on our platform, we've had, so many people from, I think, about 35 countries or so. Yet, this did not exist. It did not exist. I was having a meeting today and said, we are targeting in the next 2 years, I want to have at least 1 million subscribers. And then we begin serious transformation across Africa. But this was not, it was non-existent this time last year. All right. So guess what? In history, in future, when people are talking about, oh, just like we talk now and say during the Great Depression, the great companies were started. During the pandemic, these are the companies that were started. We are going to be there. Now, my guests today also have a very unique story, because this time last year, what they are doing now, which has become a stream of income for them, was non-existent. Now, they started a YouTube channel, and it's called From Chennai to Lagos. And they will tell us how many subscribers they have right now. Let's put our hand together for the owners of Chennai to Lagos, who happen to be my children, Tom and Kalpa.
Hello.
Hey, you guys have become internet celebrities.
Can you believe it?
I'm finding it difficult to believe. Wow. So tell us, how many subscribers do you have right now?
We just clocked 11,000 a few minutes ago.
Yeah, not too long ago.
11,000 subscribers. And combined, about how many hours of your video has been watched?
I will tell you that right now, but it's over 500,000.
Over 500,000 hours.
Over half, yeah. 500,000 in terms of hours, I'm not sure the exact amount, but yeah, probably around, around that area. Probably like 100,000, 200,000 watch time hours, but I will get the details. Yeah.
200,000 watch time, 11,000 subscribers. Your biggest video has how many subscribers, how many views?
Nearly 150,000. Around 150, and then we have another couple around 100,000 as well.
When did you start this? Okay, number one, when did you start? Why did you start? Why did you think of all the things you can do, a YouTube channel?
Okay, do you want to start this one?
Okay, so we always had a couple of ideas that we wanted to do together as a business, but we felt that YouTube is a good place to start as a way of creating our brand, and then working upwards from there. So we had in our hearts, I would say, for the longest time to create a YouTube channel. We weren't so sure what it was going to be about or how to go about it. And then towards the end of last year, we got a lot of direction on how we had to go about it. And so we just decided, let's do this. Let's actually just have a channel. Let's put out a video and see what happens from there. So that was the inspiration behind starting a YouTube channel. In fact, we waited for months to get a name. We were struggling to find a name that would describe what this is. And then we found a name. So once we identified what we wanted to call the channel, we just went ahead and started it.
Yeah, and I think just to add, before the whole pandemic happened, we had talked about the idea of starting a YouTube channel, but we never really did anything about it. I think towards the end of last year, it became stronger on our hearts that it's time. We had a lot of other ideas, but we felt this was the most important thing to start. and we did it, and the rest is history.
So tell me, you started around the end of the year.
Yeah. Was it September?
Now,
Yeah, it was around September.
Yeah.
now, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you are paying attention. How many of you at that time, or when the pandemic started, had ideas, oh, I'm going to do this, or I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this? The important thing is this: nobody wins because they got the idea. You win because you execute the idea you got. And this is so important. Now, okay, guys, you had never done a YouTube channel before. How did you know what to do?
As they say, Google is your friend. So we did a bit of research, watched a couple of videos, to see what are the starting things we needed to do. Obviously, the most important thing we needed to have was a camera. So once we had all the, we did like a checklist, and then we started brainstorming about the type of videos to start with. And yeah, I think things that we noticed very, very quickly is we kind of studied a bit of channels and realized that for us to grow, we needed to have a story. We didn't just want to be a channel that's just putting anything out. We wanted to have a story. And if we believe that if we had a story, we'll never lack content. If we had an identity that the channel was being built upon, we will never ever lack content and always continue. So once we have those things in place, we just did the remaining things, got a picture here, and learned, and we put it up.
I love that when you have a story, you won't have to worry about content because you're just populating the story, isn't it? Now, so how did you decide at this story? How did you decide this is the story we are going to talk about?
So basically, we kind of had to do like sort of an audit and figure out what we had to offer on YouTube. And obviously, for us, it was our relationship and the fact that we come from completely two different places and, came to Kenya. And then, yeah, we found each other in the process. So it's as simple as that. But finding the power of storytelling in that small story is what we've been doing. So we started with even a topic like how did we meet? That
Okay,
video has
tell us
about
that story.
100,000
We
views.
want to know. We want to know that story. So tell us that story, because to the best of my own memory, you guys were Mr. and Miss USIU, and your term was 1 year. Is it that you did not get the memo that it was to be 1 year, or what exactly happened? So tell us.
Oh wow. Okay. So yeah, we both participated in Miss and Miss, and what happens is when you join the competition, they put people in teams, so to speak. You're paired up, and so we were ironically paired up together. And what happens is there's a pre-judging, that's like the halfway point, and then after that, people are now progressing to the next round. And then after that, they crown people. So what happened with us is that we were paired up in the beginning, and we became really, really good friends, and we learned a lot from each other. And eventually, from there, we progressed to the next half of it. And ironically, we won. That was the first time a pair was ever going to win. And yeah, we became Mr. and Miss. We were friends, for a whole year. But yeah, towards the end, we started to realize that there was more, that God had a bigger plan. So yeah, here we are now.
So profound.
God had a bigger plan. Amen. Hallelujah. So
Yes.
you went online, you studied, and because I love that, and everybody listening, maybe somebody wants to start a YouTube channel. It's not just getting a camera and dancing or doing something in front of the camera. From what we are learning here, you must have a story you want to tell. And I think that's very profound. Where did you, that is so profound. So what is the story that you want to tell? All right, so Tom Kappa, once you got the story, what next? What happened next? Hello?
Hello?
Yes. Once you had the story,
Okay, there we go.
what next?
Yeah, so the moment we realized that we sat down, we had a business meeting. We had like a very serious meeting, and we planned out our videos. We did, one of the things that we had learned is that a lot of times when people start YouTube channels, one of the biggest things that can be a hindrance to your growth is the lack of consistency. So we knew that if we're going to start this thing, it's basically a full-time job, and we needed to plan ahead in advance. So we sat down, we put a list of many videos and ideas that we could put up together, all in line with the story. And once we had that checklist, we began to shoot.
Yeah, so we got our why first, and then we found out our how as well. And we found out what that would entail, the videos that would entail, and how frequently we would be doing that, and what that would mean in our daily lives as well. Yeah, and the vision for the channel was also very important to have, so that we don't really go far from what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
So what is the vision for the channel? I hope you guys are taking notes, because a lot of people just say, let me stand in front of camera. Now you are hearing, we will have a story. There must be a vision for the channel. I'm learning a lot. So what is the vision for the channel?
So, because of how we come from very cultural backgrounds, a Nigerian and an Indian, and we're aware that in the world we live in, it's not very common to find relationships like ours. And so we felt that, we would be we're the best example of what God's love looks like. It's not based on skin color or things like that. Heaven is going to be a very colorful place. And from the beginning, what we wanted to do was show the love of God through our life and our relationship. And basically now people following the journey, because there's a lot of curiosity that how does this work? You're from India, you're from Nigeria. How does that work? So in essence, our story is built on that foundation and just showcasing how normal this is and how interesting it is when two cultures like this come together. Yeah.
So you had the story, you had the vision. What next?
The next was easy, especially end of last year, I would say. We made a lot of promises to ourselves that we just didn't keep. We said we'll be posting every week. We said that we'll be posting on this particular day at this particular time, and we quickly learned that that's difficult, especially when you are doing other things in life as well. Shooting a video, editing a video, posting a video is a whole thing. It's a whole process. It might look very simple from the onset. So we quickly learned that we had to take a step back and re-strategize, which is what we did this year. And so during the implementation, we had to think out of the box and see how we will collaborate with other brands. And so in thinking about that, we collaborated with BBC, where we did a short video just explaining us as a couple. And that is what brought a lot of subscribers to our YouTube.
Before you go into the BBC thing, because I was coming to that, we will get there. So you had the story, you had the vision, and then you implemented. And, one thing that discourages a lot of people is, oh, I don't have everything right. But you guys just started, isn't it? And you began to figure out things as you went on.
Yeah, we
Am I correct?
started and we had to learn on the go. Exactly.
Yes.
Like if I look back at our first video and I look back and I look at our recent video, there's a huge difference in how we engage with our audience. And you can see that we've really tried to improve how we talk into the camera, how we explain some things are happening. And we've noticed we've had to make improvements every video, every week.
One of the things that YouTube has, I think the moment we started to look at this thing as a business, it changed our approach. When we actually started to realize that actually this is a very serious income stream that can grow and can be, one of the biggest things that we have, it changed our approach. So we started to take data very seriously. Looking at where is our audience from, trying to understand why are certain videos working, and then also being keen to understand what is trending. But I say this from the point of view of it's not that you just jump on anything that comes your way, but if you find something that relates to your story that you can be a part of, you can capitalize on things like that. So we did that. We found, things that, were beginning to pick up that were in line with our story. We made sure we jumped on it, and it brought a lot of traffic. One of the videos has 100,000 views right now, and we have people all over. So the data angle, so we sit down kind of like world domination. We want to increase India. What do? The Indian audience. We build a strategy around that. We want to increase our US following. What do? Because at the end of the day, each following has an impact on the type of cash that you get and things like that. So yeah, we started to really look at it like a business and focus on the data that drives our traffic. Yeah.
You know why I'm laughing right now? A lot of people have complained that, oh, they are not making money from YouTube, but they don't do it as work the way you people have done. So you guys have taken it like a full-time job, even though you have your work.
Yeah.
It work. So you are looking at analytics, you are studying trends, you are looking at all that, deciding how you want to, which audience you want to target. And, that's phenomenal, guys. It's hard work. It is hard work, and that's the thing. A lot of people are looking for free work. It is hard work. But something that got my attention is Kappa said that first video, how we met. That was your first video, wasn't it?
No. That happened much down the line, but that's our biggest video. That's our biggest
That
video.
one is the one with 140. I'm looking at it. You have that one with 147,000 views. Enjoy Njani. You have 104,000 views. Taking my Indian fiancé to Nigeria, you have 100,000 views. Your engagement, you had 77,000 views.
Yeah.
Guys, are you hearing what I'm saying? This is not a joke, but they have put so much into it. Now, February 14th, Netflix released a movie called Namaste Wahala, which is a Nigerian Indian love story. Okay? Now, and guys, this is the thing. When you step out, there's no way you can predict the series of events that God will put in place for you. So tell us how Namaste Wahala, the Netflix movie, how it impacted your channel. Tell us.
Yeah, so one day we wake up and we see this trailer, and it's about a couple who are like us. So we were so happy that such a movie would come up, but we were also like, how do we pin ourselves to it? So what Tom did is he went on one of our videos. Was it story time?
It was when Netflix put the trailer.
Yeah.
They put the trailer up, and everyone was coming to. We're seeing guys were very, very interested in this new movie that's coming. So what I did with our account is that I made a comment on the video early in, and I related it to the fact that we are a channel that looks like the movie.
That was on Netflix Africa.
Yes, on Netflix's YouTube page.
Yeah.
So we put that comment there, and then we started to realize that as time went on, a lot of traction started to pick up, and people were coming from there. But that wasn't actually even the main thing. I think down the line, a journalist for BBC went online after the movie came out and just searched for a Nigerian, her exact words. She went on YouTube and searched Indian and Nigerian couple. Yeah. And we were the first one that she saw.
So in the search engine, we were the first channel that came up. And so she contacted us through our email, and she said that she wanted to do this small project where we would react to the movie, and we would basically talk about our story in relation to the movie as well, and some of the difficulties we faced. So it was literally like a 2-minute video that we did with her that was put on BBC Africa, and it gained a lot of traction, of course, because they have an amazing following. and we gained about 4,000 subscribers overnight. I would say
that was the beginning.
That was like literally the turning point for our channel this year.
You know, I am so proud of you guys. If you are not my children, I would have coveted you. You know, because I think that was a stroke of genius. Well, I guess that is God, you know, but that was a super smart move that you went to the YouTube channel for the Netflix movie where they put the trailer, and then you wrote there that we are a couple that looks like this movie. That, I think, is a brilliant move. Brilliant move. My goodness. You know, and I see you've been on different, you know, so the BBC thing, I think that took you global because it brought the Nigerian. What was the impact of the BBC thing, apart from that you had 4,000 subscribers overnight and all that? What's the general impact of it for you?
I think one of the things that obviously the main one was obviously the following, but I think the next one is the awareness, which is really the foundation. Again, our story, because one of the things that we wanted to showcase is, you know, how this looks like and, you know, how beautiful it can be. And I feel like that it did just that. You know, just reading through comments, we see comments about parents who were in, you know, similar situations, and maybe their kids were on that journey, and how just watching our video changed their mind. Things like that, things along those lines. You could see that it was really dealing with people's mindset and changing their sentiment about couples like this. So I think that's the biggest thing that I would say. It really brought about the impact, and it propelled our why, which is why we started it. And most of the time, whenever we have conversations and we're, you know, brainstorming about the videos, we always like to go back to why we started the channel. So I feel like that video did just that. You know, it spread love around the world, and yeah, that was where, you know, things picked up from.
Yeah, but also in addition to that, Tom said it's like a business. We have our so-called segments of customers, right?
Yeah.
So our audience come from Nigeria, India, and Kenya, and a lot from the US as well. But you see, because of the nature of this relationship, we want to make sure that Nigeria and India get their fair share of their story as well. So this movie was targeted more into the African continent when it was released. So when BBC had our interview online, a lot of Nigerians followed our channel. And then later on, we started creating videos that were kind of specific to different audience. So we could easily tell if we did this video, Nigerians would like it. If we did this video, Kenyans would like it. If we did this video, Indians would like it. And so we were able to quickly learn a pattern that we could use that is relative to our channel. So that the impact that the video created is we were able to reach to a lot of Nigerians back home.
And then I think that also was the beginning where we started to realize how, you know, when you enter now the business side of YouTube, there's certain key things. There's something called CPM, cost per, per mil. Basically, it's something that YouTube uses as a calculation to pay you based on for every 1,000 views you get from an advertising point of view. So we looked at the data and we realized that there are countries with higher CPM. So basically, in terms of payments, not every country is the same. If you have 1 million views from people in one location, you might not make the same amount of money as having 1 million views from different locations and things like that. So I think even from that video, that's when we started to realize that, okay, actually there's something to this. People coming from this location will increase this. So it's really made us aware. I think that video, it taught us so many things. We saw what it was like to go viral, and then it kind of got us focused on the analytics, and it's really been a foundation ever since with the stuff that we create.
So, you know, you guys, it's such a joy listening to you, but man, it is hard work. This is a lot of work you're doing. You know, I'm almost getting tired listening to all you have to do. You know, but tell me, no, it's true. So, because somebody who is somebody who is watching, now and wants to start a YouTube channel. Okay, you know, tell us about this whole analytics, the time of the day you post, and tell us more about, the back end stuff.
Yeah. So initially, we would not actually have a lot of analytics because we didn't have a lot of videos. So it is like a gameplay. Like if you want more analytics and you want to understand how your channel is doing, you need to post often. That's it, right? So we had to start with saying, okay, we need to post often for us to get some true analytics on our videos. So that's when we could see the demography, where our audience come from. We could understand. In fact, last year we didn't even have a revenue analytics, like because we didn't get any revenue last year. So it was just mainly focusing on where our audience come from, the age group they are in. What else?
Yeah, age group, and then also the type of content that you're putting out. I think one of the things that we kind of learned quickly is YouTube is a search engine. At the end of the day, YouTube is a search engine. It's the second largest search engine in the world after Google. So when people are coming, people are searching for things that relate with them. They're searching for their interests. They're searching for information. And we started to realize that we need to think like a business in the sense that what we need to position ourselves as for people to find us from a search. Those were some of the key things we had to start asking, because that's how people find videos. For videos to go viral, people will have to search for something and find you. People are creating channels every single day, every single second. Like right now, I need to get the data, but in this conversation we've had, thousands of YouTube channels have just been created. So for us to step out, to stand out and to start actually receiving the traction, we have to start positioning ourselves up intentionally, not just putting up a video and hoping that it will travel the world. We have to start understanding, okay, there are things like tags. So when you put up a video, there's the title. That's the most important thing. But then there's also the thumbnail, because when people are scrolling, that's what advertises to them. It's an impression. So people will scroll and then, think about it. People who are watching, a lot of times you click on videos because of the picture that you see, not actually the title. So we learned that there are things called tagging with searches. You have to understand all of these mechanisms and start doing it intentionally. In the beginning, we were like, okay, yeah, let's just do what we think works. But now we're very, very intentional about it. And yeah, that's.
And there's no like one thing that works. Like at the beginning, we were like, so what time is there traffic?
Yeah.
But traffic in these are and how active they are at a certain time. And YouTube gives you those analytics. Once you start feeding it enough data, it gives you back analytics that tell you your audience are active between 7 p.m. and 10 p.m. So if you put out a video, then your views are going to shoot up very fast. And you might even get more subscribers because it'll be recommended on other playlists or so. Yeah.
And sorry, just to add one more thing, one thing that we learned quickly is that at the end of the day, the only reason you would pay us is because we're doing something for them. And when we started to look at it that way, we started to realize in this relationship that is between us as content creators and YouTube, what do we need to do for YouTube to favor us? And at the end of the day, from a YouTube point of view, YouTube is a platform. Now, us as content creators, because we've defined our why, we have a certain type of audience. But advertisers are looking for our kind of audience. So what ends up happening is that, when you put out content and you put things out, because you have your audience defined, you'll have a lot of advertisers who will now be paying YouTube to kind of get to us. So we started to realize that there's a very interesting relationship, and it's very important for us to, understand what our brand is and understand the kind of content we're creating, and above all, understand the fact that we're just one of the pieces in this business equation. You have the platform YouTube, you have the content creator, and then you have the audience as way. It influences the kind of stuff we create and how we upload our videos, because if you get that bit right, YouTube's algorithm will naturally push you out, because the more people watch your video, the more advertisers will be involved, and then the more potential money you can make. Yeah. I think, is there anything else?
No.
Yeah.
Um, I think, sorry, my thing is going. All right. Now, let's now go into the part that most people now want to hear. How do you begin the process of monetizing?
Mhm. Okay. So there are two main
Because correct
requirements
me, not
before
every
YouTube.
video that's on YouTube makes money, right?
Yeah. No, not every video. Yes.
Okay. So how do you begin to monetize? I will not tell people how much you are making, but I know you guys are making a lot of money now. You guys are making a lot of money. I am, like I said, if you are not my children, I would have coveted you. You guys are making so much money that now, you know, your father is a very happy man. So, how do you begin the process of monetization?
So, firstly, YouTube has two main requirements that if you meet, then you can apply for your channel to get monetized. One of it is you need to have 1,000 subscribers, a minimum of 1,000 subscribers, and 4,000 hours watch time from your audience. And this should be within a span of the last 12 months of you having opened your YouTube channel. So this can take, any channel differs. I mean, the channels that reach it in a day, I'm guessing, and there are channels that can take months for it to get there.
Even possibly years.
Years, yeah, there are even channels that have taken years. It really depends on the kind of content you put out and the engagement. But those are the two main requirements. So when we reached those two requirements, I think it took us 4 months.
About around 4 months to get that official done.
So then they tell you that you can apply. So then we applied, telling them that we want to get monetized, and then you wait for like a week or two for your application to go through, and then basically from that point on, they monetize your videos. But that doesn't mean that all the other videos you've posted is waste. Like they start, even those videos gain traction. The ones that you put out before you got monetized are still within the umbrella of monetization.
And I think that's where we realized how it was so perfect that we started with our why, because we realized a lot of people don't reach the monetization threshold as quickly as we did. Obviously, we know there's definitely a God factor to it, but one of the things we can see is the fact that having that why very, very early in made the difference. Because what I've seen from study, you have a lot of channels who they don't really have a why, but then one day, boom, something goes viral, and then all of a sudden, in that moment, overnight, they have thousands of subscribers, millions of views, and overnight they get those two things. But you see, it came through experimentation. So obviously, we do experiment every now and then, but having that why is what started it. And we learned we had to be patient, because 4 months might not sound like a lot, but when we started to realize that this is something we wanted to do, every day we're always checking it. Where are we? And I think,
and even after we got monetized, it wasn't like in a day we got the check. Like we were making 0.5 cents, $1, $2 a day. And we're like, what is this?
We celebrated because, for us, even the day that we saw that the monetization thing had happened and we saw 0.001, we realized that, wow, this is actually a stream. And I think that day, that's when we realize that, okay, if this has happened, all we have to do is be consistent, make sure we never neglect this channel and treat it like an actual business, never forget the why, and everything else has just fallen in place. And like I say, the rest is history. I don't know if that has touched on,
So if I'm getting it right, you need to have 1,000 subscribers before you are qualified for monetization.
And 4,000 hours watch time.
4,000 hours.
And 4,000 hours watch time. And you guys right now are doing 500,000 hours watch time. Hey, we are sorry.
But it also depends on your type of content. YouTube does not monetize copyright issues, where people put out, there's like a thin line of people putting out gossip related stuff, or I don't know, like music, like full on music, where they're not talking about music, but they're replaying music that has been created without any content to it. Those things can't be monetized. It needs to be unique content that someone has to sit down and create.
And then through that we realize
like your video, the one Enjoy and Jammy.
Yes.
Yeah.
But that one was monetized.
It is monetized.
It is monetized because we added our unique content to the music. We talked about it.
Yeah.
But if, let's say, we didn't talk about it and we only put the song on our channel, and that's it.
Then that's copyright.
That's copyright. They would flag your channel and say this is a copyright issue. But you playing the video and then talking about the video or the song is you creating unique content for them.
Yeah, there's something called fair use. It's a copyright thing that is used in the digital world, whereby you can it's not copyright as far as you are changing information or value to it. So those are things that are easily monetized. So imagine we learned that just by reacting to videos, you can make
before
money.
we did it, we were so scared to do it.
Yeah.
So we had to read the legal implications before we did that.
Yeah. So there's a lot of reading. There's the legal side of things, because you have to understand, okay, if we do this video, what is the implication of that? So in the beginning, we were very skeptical about such things. But yeah, every day we're learning, about the channel. We always sit down and have like business meetings, understanding besides the analytics, what are we going to do? And then, just trying to debunk some of the things that we had as fears, because that reaction thing in the beginning was a fear. We thought that if we reacted, we'll be flagged down, this and that. But, by doing the research, we saw that actually it's very, very possible. And there are even channels that make money purely by reacting to things. So imagine that's a business opportunity as well.
So you guys, what fascinates me, you go to bed and you wake up in the morning and you have made money.
Yes.
While you are sleeping.
Yeah.
And Lorraine is asking how much. Don't worry how much, but let me just put it this way. Enough to live very comfortably. Okay? Now, Susan has a question here, and that question is, which software do you use to read and study analytics? Because she started her channel last year, April, but neglected it, and she wants to pick it up again. So is there a particular software for reading analytics? How do you go about that?
It's all on YouTube.
Yeah,
Everything is all on
YouTube Studio that's specifically for you as a content creator. So if you have a channel, I think, did we download the YouTube Studio app?
Yes. Yeah, they have an app. So
and you log in as your YouTube, and it gives you analytics for your channel.
Yes. Yeah. So it's actually all there. Suze, you don't have to go anywhere. It's all on the platform. Just enter something called YouTube Studio. That's where you upload content. And there's a place there for analytics. So you can actually see how your videos are doing. You can understand what's working, what's not working, and then you can use that to inform decisions you want to make down the line.
Wow. And I see you guys, you celebrate milestones. You celebrated 5,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
Lorraine is asking here, the YouTube plaques that are given when one reaches a certain number of subscribers, have you reached that, or what number does that happen? And is that paid?
100,000?
Yeah, I think 100,000.
There's one at 100,000, there's one at 1 million, if I'm not wrong.
Okay.
But we've not reached that.
We'll get there. When we get there, we'll come back and tell you exactly what happens when you receive that. But it's also recognition, and it's also a way. Yeah, it's also a way of YouTube celebrating the content creators, because at the end of the day, without the content creators, YouTube is nothing. So in essence, we are business partners. So they just do this also to kind of give back, let you know that they care, and just let you know that they're there for you, and so you can keep on making content, so they also make money.
All right. Carlene has asked a very important question. Since monetizing is related to copyright integrity, is it practical to copyright your YouTube content, or is that a feature offered by YouTube that once it is out on YouTube, it's already copyrighted?
Yes, YouTube has there's a standard YouTube copyright license that naturally comes by virtue of posting it on YouTube.
Yeah.
So at least you're protected from that thing. And the good thing is that there's also a lot of support they have for you as creators. And again, you know, once you create your video, YouTube is just one of other platforms. So it's as far as it's your video, you can even take it other places and you can use it. But while it's on YouTube, it is protected by YouTube's copyright thing. So you wouldn't have any issue, yeah, on the platform.
You know, you guys are even making me feel bad now. You know,
Why?
I started a YouTube channel, I think it was last year also, but I've never done anything to it. It's just there. It has my name and it's just there. Then I checked it yesterday and I have 900 and something subscribers, nearly hitting 1,000, and I've never done anything to where we have a few things there. So even me, guys, don't go there yet. Let me put good content. Don't go there yet and then now get upset. Let me put good content, and then I will tell you how is it that you guys welcome to C2M. And so don't forget to subscribe to my channel.
Share,
like, subscribe.
But why all of you on YouTube? Why do you speak English without twang? Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and click the like button.
Yep.
And then I see you finish saying that, and then you come and say, Daddy.
Oh
Wow. All right. So any parting shot for us? And we hope you will come. Guys, please. Okay, do you want to be the one to give the big announcement, or we should not talk about the big announcement here?
Okay, now that you've said it.
We can give a preview. You can give a preview.
You can do the honors.
Yeah.
Oh, no, okay. No, it's not me. It's your own story. If you want to say it, say it. If you don't want to say it, don't say it. But that's my YouTube channel. If we imagine, without doing anything, nearly 1,000 subscribers. God, I'm sorry. So watch this space now.
Yeah.
All right. Parting shot, guys.
You want to start?
Yeah, sure. So I think from everything we've said, I think we hope that we've not complicated it more specifically, because it's not that complicated. I think to begin with, please just focus on your why and create videos. Have fun with it, actually. There are a lot of people I know who create videos just from their phone and edit it from a software on their phone. So, you know, you can use such modes and just put up videos, and then you can start really looking at the analytics when there are analytics. So do not stress about it now. And then you can slowly start to tweak your videos, but it just starts with you starting. Like I have a goal of putting out like at least 10 videos in the next few months, so that you would have some strong analytics to work with. And yeah, I mean, don't compare yourself to another channel. Your why is different from another person's why. So do you.
Yeah. I think for me, that basically 3 words I'll sum it up as, it's very important you have an identity with your channel. It's very important you're patient, and it's very important you're consistent. When all those 3 things align, your channel will do well, because having an identity is what allows us to constantly create content without feeling that we're running out. You know, it's very, especially when you start and people are following you, there's a lot of pressure. So you're like, oh my God, are we ever going to run out? But when we go back to our why, which is our identity, we realize that, oh wow, we can do this thing forever. And as we begin to grow, we will never actually run out of content. So the identity, and then consistency. At the end of the day, it is a business, and for you to eventually reach those milestones, you have to be consistent. And you might not see a lot of things at the beginning, but the more consistent you are, the more you're put out there. Yeah, patience. You know, patience we were patient, starting. We were very happy with our 100 views, 100 likes, and I take a screenshot every single day of our growth just so I never forget where we came from. And one day I can look back at that and we have a few million subscribers and see the journey. So yeah, patience. And then I think the other part is just make sure there's work that's involved. And we never used to understand how people do this thing for full time, but there's work that's involved. Especially if you do other things, you have to really plan yourself. And the business of YouTube, that's really where the magic happens. Understanding the data, the analytics, and making sure that everything you do is intentional. So yeah, if we can do it, you guys can too. All you need is a phone. You don't have to have complex software. And that statement, start small, think big, grow fast. Start with what you have, and just make changes along the way. And you will look back one day and realize that, wow, you're very, very happy and glad you started, because your life will be in a different place. Yeah.
Don't worry, I am starting, and I will look back very soon, and I will say, yes, I started.
But we'll do a channel collaboration with you.
Yes, we do a channel collaboration. In fact, you guys, maybe I need to apply. You host me. I've been begging Kalpa to host me on your channel, so I will now say on your channel. I mean, you hosted for me.
No, you hosted for me.
So you host me, and I say, "Oh, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my channel." And on my channel, we're going to,
Don't worry, we actually have plans for you. We've just not told you, so don't worry. It's part of our content plan. You're definitely there.
Oh, okay. Is there anything you want to tell us, or that's it?
Okay. Yeah, we can. Okay, so since we're here, we are engaged. We are getting married soon. So watch this space. I think that's all.
Yes. We're planning on getting married soon.
They are getting married, and when the president announced the lockdown, there were mixed emotions. But for some of us, the lockdown has saved us a lot of money, so we will have a YouTube wedding. So everybody is invited. We will tell you, it is very soon. Everybody is invited. We'll have a YouTube wedding. Okay? You can make a lot of money. The biggest YouTube wedding in the world. Thing. Anyway, guys, it's been great. It's been real. Thank you so much. Please go on YouTube right now. Chennai to Lagos. Chennai to Lagos. Go and subscribe. Please get people to subscribe. Let's support their business, because that's what it is. Let's support their business. So please let us let's subscribe. Let's invite people to subscribe. We push them to the next milestone is 15,000. Let's push them to 15,000. Then by the day of the wedding, we are hitting 20,000, So, but Tom and Kalpa, I'm so proud of both of you. Well done. Well done. I mean, your thinking, your minds, somebody wrote there, brilliant minds, brilliant young minds. Absolutely. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for being here. This is why we are here at the Street University, to give you options, to help you, so that you can take your life to the next level. So Chennai to Lagos, once again, you subscribe there and spread the word around. All right. And thank you so much for being here. I will be back at 9 p.m. Nairobi time at the Wale Akiemi resource page, talking more about mindsets. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you for agreeing to support them and subscribe. I am really excited. We are grateful. And I speak as Wale, and I speak as their father, also saying, I am so proud of them, and I want to thank you for your support. God bless you, and keep winning.